What's up, guys? It's Anthony from AB Fitness Center here with another video today, and I got an awesome one planned for you as well as every other time that I have a video planned. They're always just that great. But if you're listening to this after the fact, you can friend me on Facebook, Anthony Bevilacqua, and catch me live, and you can ask me questions and all this other stuff. So make this really, really interactive. But today I have the number one tip to flattening your stomach permanently. All right. Now this tip, it goes way back. Hey, Ma, my mom's on here. I could bring you on. It says, bring my mom to camera. Should I hit it? Would you come on? I've been dying to do an episode with you, Ma. People want to hear your voice. They want to know the woman behind the guy, the creator. She's not going to come on. No way. But anyway, we're going to talk about the number. Yeah, see, she wrote no. The number one tip to flattening your stomach permanently. Now, listen, we all know that feeling, especially right now. Some of you during this quarantine time, you know, you're sitting there and you're just kind of like, you feel your stomach, you're putting on some of your clothes and you're like, what is going on? Why does this not fit anymore? And you're just feeling disgusting, okay? I'm going to teach you today the number one tip to flattening your stomach and kind of getting rid of that stomach fat forever. Never have to worry about it again and just get rid of it, right? So this tip, like I said, it comes from ancient times, okay? This is like an ancient secret. I went back into, I looked in the Bible for this answer. That's how far back it goes, and it's in there. It's in there. It's a serious tip. But first and foremost, let me get back and let me just preference this whole thing by saying that abs are made in the kitchen, not in the gym, right? Contrary to what most people believe, like, oh, if I lie down on the floor and I do crunches for hours on end, I'm going to get a six-pack. It doesn't really work like that. I'll use my models again tonight. So the way it works is, and we'll use the desk in front of me since you guys could see it, but here's the desk is your layer of bone. Then you have your layer of muscle tissue. Hopefully you can see that. I know it's on the bottom. Okay? You have your layer of muscle tissue. Then you have your layer of body fat, okay? And then you have my hand, which is your skin, right? So this is body fat level. So the higher your body fat level is, the more fat you have between your skin and the muscle. So again, if your body fat level is high, okay, you're going to take up, there's going to be a lot of space between your muscle and your skin, right? I'm peeking through here so you can see. So when someone has high levels of body fat, there's a lot of space between. So going back to why everyone has a six-pack and abs are made in the kitchen, not in the gym, right? When we start to lose body fat, this layer between the skin and the muscle starts to dwindle down, and eventually goes away until you're left with just the muscle and the skin, okay? So this is why when people lose body fat, like the people behind me have lost body fat, their bodies actually start to change the way they look. So I'm going to preface all this by saying that all of you have six packs right now, okay? You just have a big layer of this over it. So we got to get rid of this. So abs are not made in the gym, they're made in the kitchen. So what is the number one tip to flatten your stomach permanently? Like I told you, I really dug down deep for this one. It was in the Bible. I went every page in the Bible and I found it. I found the secret that you've been looking for, that you've been waiting for. The secret is to accept hunger and master it. What the hell does that mean? Anthony, what the F did you just say? You made me click on this damn video, tell me you're looking in the Bible to tell me to accept being hungry and to understand how to master it. Well, the truth of the matter is, yes. Okay? So, accept hunger and master. What the hell does that mean, right? So, hunger is a response from your body. Now, if it's a two-prong response, okay? Hunger can be triggered by patterns of eating. So, if you normally eat lunch every day at 12 o'clock, oh, my mom wants to be in the video. Now that I gave away the thing, she wants to be in the video. I'm not letting you in now, Ma. You got to wait till next time. That's it. Now I got to deny you a couple times. So, anyway, hunger has a twofold response. So one, it's like a trigger. So if you normally, eat lunch at 12 o'clock or whatever, 10 o'clock, or eat a snack at 10 o'clock, whatever it is, and you don't have that snack, just because you're kind of used to it and you're on your eating schedule, you'll get hungry around that time if you don't have that meal because your body's used to accepting a meal at that time. So that's one. But two, hunger is actually a response because when we diet and when we lose body fat, your insulin levels go down. So insulin is the floating sugar in your blood, your insulin levels, right? So the higher the insulin levels that are in your blood, usually the higher your body fat is. It's just typical. You say someone's usually heavier, their body fat levels are a little bit higher, they have more insulin floating around in their bloodstream. But when you actually start eating less calories, that insulin level drops. So your body is actually telling you by sending you signals like, hey, you in there, I gotta use this. Remember, what body fat actually is stored energy. And like I told you guys in the other video, there's 3,500 calories in 1 pound of body fat. 3,501, okay? So your body's like knocking, like, hey, you, I'm not getting any fuel here, so I'm gonna have to start tapping into this. I'm gonna tap into it. I'm gonna start using these calories. Remember, this is survival. This is like a storage bin. It sits here. So your body starts telling you like, hey, sends hunger signals to you. Starts telling you like, I'm using this stuff in here. I'm using it. I'm gonna have to use it. You sure you want me to use it? You sure you want me to use this? Are you positive? And this continues. But that's why it makes us feel hungry. And it's basically our body telling us like, hey, I'm tapping into stored here. You got to do something. You know, your body's main goal is to keep you alive, not to make you look good. Your body doesn't care about a six-pack. So hunger, that feeling of hunger actually does go away after a while. If you ignore it, studies have shown that after 2 hours those hunger signals actually go down. Okay? And the hormones associated with that hunger actually go down, and your body will begin to tap into these body fat stores. So being hungry is okay. Most people think that when they go on a meal plan that they can't be hungry, that they're not allowed to be hungry. Fact of the matter is that when you're hungry, it's a good thing. It's a good sign because that means that you're tapping into body fat stores. So you got to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. That's part of it. Now, I'm not saying you should be starving all the time, but if you're eating a higher amounts of protein, all the things that I recommend doing, you're going to satisfy those hunger cravings a lot longer. But it's so normal for you to feel that way. And again, it could be due to time and it could be due to that. So remember, your body is going to adapt to your new eating schedule. So let's say you just started and you start getting really, really hungry, and it's typical. You have to make sure that I'm going to get into that, Nancy. So Nancy actually asked a good question. She says, what happens if you can't wait 2 hours? So remember, it takes 2 hours for the hunger hormones to go away, not the hunger feelings. Hunger feelings will go away a lot faster, but the hunger hormones, the stuff that actually makes you hungry. I lost my train of thought here. Your body will, let's say you just started dieting, you just started, this whole, journey, and this is all brand new. You're going to be hungrier in the beginning because your body's like, hey, wait a minute, I used to get so many calories. Now I'm not getting these calories in. I got to use this stuff. I don't want to use it. That's what your body says. I don't want to use it. Just keep making you hungrier, and it hopes that you would go to the kitchen and say, I'm going to eat these cookies, right? That's exactly what your body does. Your body freaks out. It doesn't want to get rid of this stuff because this is storage. Easy to maintain this. Muscle, on the other hand, is very difficult. But there's something that I want you guys to be aware of. So for those of you who, and again, I don't remember the full, I know what I'm going to talk about, but I don't remember the full name of it's a Pavlovian test, right? I don't remember the second part of that. I know the guy's name, but Pavlov's dogs. Now, for those of you who have never heard that, what that actually means is basically what he did was he tested dogs. He put dogs in a room basically and would ring a bell and then put food down and the dogs would eat, okay? So every time he rang the bell, the dogs would get food. So you ring the bell, dogs get food, ring the bell, dogs get food. So what would happen over time is he actually started slowly taking the food away and ringing the bell, and the dogs would actually salivate thinking that they're gonna get food. So every time they associated the bell with getting food. So the same thing happens with us, and it's called Pavlov's conditioning. So what that means is we develop habits, and you condition yourself basically to salivate. So we actually develop habits throughout the day, throughout our life, of signaling hunger to ourselves. So for example, and I'll make fun of my mom because she's on here and she's an easy target. But my mom, when she watches TV, she likes to eat a snack when she watches TV. So basically, she's signaling to herself that when she sits down and watches TV, she's going to get hungry. She's Pavlovian conditioning. So she's conditioning herself to get hungry when she does that. Another one that's typical with most people is boredom. When you get bored, what's the first thing you do? Look in the cabinets, right? It's just a habit. It becomes a habit. I do that too. I got nothing to do. I open the cabinets. I literally open the cabinets and stare in them. But you can change these things. But it's mind-blowing when you actually think about them. Because we develop these habits that we've ingrained in our own self. Like I said, like my mom, she sits down, she watches TV, she puts the TV on, and she gets hungry. And she's bored also at the same time, so she grabs something and tries to and eats it. It's part of the snacking, but it can be trouble if it's not accounted for. Now my mom, I'm not going to throw my mom completely under the bus here, but my mom has done so well with her diet that she knows that she's conditioned to do that. So what she does in that case is she actually just fits in those calories for the day. So if she wants chips or whatever, she fits them in, and then she sits there with her chips, her allotted amount of chips, and she eats them. But you have to understand this conditioning factor that we do to ourselves. So you have to remember to just kind of, and again, going back, the number one tip is to accept hunger and master it. Okay? So that's part of mastering it. Realize what triggers you, what sets you off. You know, if you know that you like to go outside with your friends or whatever, you hang out with your friends and you're automatically going to have a drink and that sets you off, you got to understand that you got to try to break that habit. So maybe do something else instead of having a drink or again, just finding something. It doesn't matter what it is, but just finding something. So Gail says also, when I relax, my stomach relaxes and I get more hungry. Yeah, and like I said, it's Pavlovian conditioning. When you're relaxing, you're conditioning yourself to get hungry. You got to just change that habit. So one of the biggest tips I've given to everybody, and it works like gangbusters. I mean, the proof is in the pudding when I tell you what this is. But another really good tip when you get hungry is to brush your teeth. It's my favorite tip. But why do you think my teeth are so white? Because again, you're ingraining a different habit. So whenever you get hungry, you wash your teeth, you brush your teeth. You get the feeling of mint in your mouth. You're not really hungry anymore because now your mouth's clean. So again, you're training yourself to accept hunger and master it. Remember, it's okay to be hungry. Hunger is a signal to your body. Hey, you're not eating as much as you used to. I got to use this body fat right here. See this little layer right here? I'm going to have to use it. Are you sure? Yes, I don't want that. I don't want that. Get rid of that, body. Get rid of that. I don't want it. So that's exactly what happens. There's a communication what your body has with you. And I hope my analogies make you laugh. And hopefully I'm able to entertain you while educating you here. But yeah. So you have to just really focus again, like I said. Understand that when you're in a calorie deficit, when you're eating less, when you're losing body fat, you're going to get hungry. And there's points in the day where you're going to be more ravenous than others. But, so like, for example, I'll use myself. So I'm dieting right now, and after my workout, I got really, really hungry. And it was to the point where I really was ravenous. I was really, really starving. So what I did was, I know what I was going to have after my meal, but I knew it was like, I was still in the middle of my workout, but I was so hungry. I was thinking about food again, totally normal. So what I did was I kind of just ran and I had like an apple. I ate the apple quick and then I went back to my workout and it kind of like solved it. I knew I was going to eat the apple after anyway, but I just ate it in that moment in time and the hunger pains went away and that was the end of it. But you have to understand that it's okay to be hungry. It's not okay to open your cabinet when you're bored just because you think you're hungry and you start eating everything. That's not okay because that's not going to make you healthier. That's not going to make you happier. It's a vicious cycle, okay? And trust me, if you want to look better in your clothes, if you want to feel better, if you want to get healthy, if you want to be the best version of yourself, you have to learn to accept hunger and master it. Well, guys, I really hope that I enlightened you today, and I hope that I gave you a different alternative to look at things when you're looking at flattening your stomach, okay? It's going to come down to your nutrition. It's going to come down to accepting hunger and mastering it. Remember, I went deep into the Bible for that one. And it's going to come down to understanding Pavlovian conditioning. Are you conditioning yourself to eat? Are you conditioning yourself to eat more? Or are you conditioning yourself to be healthy? On that note, I'll see everyone tomorrow.
Our overcrowded personal training gym is in need of trainers. We are drowning in new clients that want and need instruction, and we need you. Certification is a plus, but not necessary. We are growing fast, and there are many opportunities for growth inside our company. So send me a message now if you are interested in working with the best.